Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be using the Casillo Tipo 00 flour. Looking at the ingredients, it's just 10% protein on this one. And then I noticed that it's well out of date, so should have been used by December 2021. But we're in September 2022, so let's just see how we get on with this one. So just thinking through, I think we're going to go with 600 grams of water on this one. We'll make it a slightly lower hydration. 1 gram of yeast, and then mix those two things together. So as we're using a flour that is out of date, just check it before you start to gradually add in the flour into the mixing bowl. Then we need to mix with a fork, and as I've always said, this just gets all the lumps out of there. Save a little for kneading, just so we've got something to add there. So if you want any more pizza, of course, please subscribe to the channel. It really does help. We've got over 550 subscribers now. And leave a comment if you've used this flour before, or if not, if you fancy trying it, again, leave a comment, let us know how you get on with it. So mixing that flour through and just bringing it all nicely together now. And there we go. So I'm going to tip the remaining flour on the work surface, and then what I'll do now is I'll then scrape out the bowl, put that in there. And as I've seen on a previous video, what I've also done as well is I'll tip a little bit of flour into the mixing bowl to get all the remaining stuff out there. So mix it by hand from here on in. So that is the remaining bag. There's no excess flour there. That's just the remnants of the 1 kilogram of flour out of the Casillo Tipo 00 flour bag. So one thing that I didn't notice with only having 10% protein in this flour, that I'm glad that we went with a lower hydration, just 60%. I really don't think this flour would have taken much more. Probably could have got up to 63%, but nothing beyond that. You'd have had a massive sticky mess on your hands. So the dough is starting to come together now. My hands are becoming a lot cleaner, just rubbing them together a couple of times I've seen there. And now we're going to start really kneading the dough. And it's starting to form into a ball on its own now, so forming it now into a tight ball. So yeah, I can just tell that it's ready now for its 1 hour rest. So once it's in the bowl, we're going to cover it for 1 hour. So after 1 hour, uncover, and we're going to start to put in the 20 grams of salt. So we just need to get it off the work surface. It comes off pretty cleanly after the hour rest. And we need to continue and mix all that salt in for 5 minutes. So just kneading and mixing it all together. Should take about 5 minutes. You normally can tell when it's ready because you can feel the grains of salt in the dough. And once they disappear, you're pretty much ready to go. So have you used this flour before? Well, if you have, please leave a comment. Let me know how you got on. So yeah, continuing to mix and knead, getting all that salt in, making sure that all the grains of salt disappear. So just whilst I'm doing that, please don't forget to check out some of my other videos on the pizza flour library. The links are in the description for you. So plenty of other flours there to try with various amounts of hydration. So what I was noticing now that it was starting to get a bit sticky again. So what I was doing is just giving a few slapping it onto the work surface. Does help. Really is a good tip that, especially if your dough starts to become sticky. But now it's starting to become not as sticky. It's starting to form a bit of a skin on the outside. So we know that it's time for its main rest point. So now we need to start to form it into a ball. So just spinning that round, cupping it in my hands. A couple of slaps on the work surface again. As I say, it's a low protein flour, this one, so it was not going to take much water. So there you go. As you can see, it looks fairly sticky. So place that into the mixing bowl, and what we'll do is we'll cover that with a shower cap. We're going to leave it to rest for 18 hours at this point. So after 18 hours, let's uncover it. Let's have a look what we've got there in terms of its rest period. So a few bubbles on the top. Let's open it up. Let's see if there's any structure in there, what gluten's formed. So yeah, it's nice. It feels reasonably strong. It's not tearing or ripping. It's got a bit of elasticity in the dough, which is good. So now it's time to make the pizza balls. So what we're going to do for these ones is we're going to make it into 230 grams per pizza ball. I'm using the Caputo semolina flour as well to help with the stopping the sticking from the pizza dough. So got that one first time, 230 on the nose. Always good to get it right. So quick roll round, and then we'll put a bit of flour in the pizza box, tip the excess out, and then we'll place that with a cover. And for this, you need to let them rest for about 4 hours. So it's pizza time. So just going to get this out of the box. Came out absolutely perfectly. So just reforming it, and then I'm going to shape it with my fingers, as you can see. It really is a good flour. And again, just going back to the hydration amount, glad I went with 60%. Doesn't tear, didn't rip or anything. And I think that 60% is pretty much the optimum hydration for this dough. So just clearing off the excess there, just making sure that we've got all that semolina flour away. And then we just put that onto the work surface, just a bit of a quick reshape, and then I think we are pretty much ready to go in with some tomato sauce. So putting on the tomato sauce, again, homemade stuff, very nice it is too. And then I'm going to put a bit of Parmigiano on. There we go. Popping that on. And then I'm going to put some sun-dried tomatoes and some olives. This was one of the last pizzas of the day that I filmed making. A bit of fresh buffalo mozzarella going on. A bit of grated mozzarella. And then I'm going to add some pepperoni. Putting pepperoni on, and then some Parma ham. I prefer to cook the ham. I know some people put it on raw. I just find it's adds a bit more texture to the pizza. So into the pizza oven, 400 degrees for the pizza. This is now filmed in real time, so I know I've had some requests about making sure that I don't speed this part of the videos up. So this is especially for you guys on there. So you'll see the back edge of the pizza starting to rise. So as that's starting to rise, let's warm the turning peel up. Warming the peel up just makes it a little bit easier turning the pizza in the oven. It also makes sure that if it is stuck to the stone, that the turning peel being warm will help it unstick. So you'll see on the right hand side the pizza crust is really rising now. So we'll just give that one more warm, and then we're going to turn the pizza 180 degrees, and this is so that we know exactly what we've got cooked in terms of the rotation of the pizza. So we're at 180 degrees now, and we'll let that, what was at the front of the pizza oven, now be at the back of the pizza oven. And we'll just let that cook away. So our next term will be 90 degrees. So here we go, just turn that 90 this time. And again, what's facing us now at the front of the pizza oven is the last bit that's got to be cooked when we turn it another 180. And I always find this method of turning the pizza a nice easy one to remember. So now we're going to turn 180. There we go. Just placing that back down. And then we'll spin around, and then that'll just make sure that everything's cooked evenly throughout. So we'll bring that out and look at that pizza. Looks fantastic. So nice crispy crust. Let's have a look underneath then. Again, it's cooked really, really nicely underneath. No, just a bit of charring, not too much. So we'll open it up. Let's have a look inside. And there you go. Looks fantastic. So in taste-wise, it was a really, really nice pizza. Probably not as good as some of the other flours that I've used, your Caputos, your Stagionis, but yeah, it was really, really nice. So give it a try. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next time. Bye for now.